Hello, it's our last few days on the Middlewich branch of the Shropshire Union Canal.
Oh, and it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely stunning. The mist was on the field this morning as well.
And we're on a mission. We're driving down to Crick, almost to Crick, to see Shawn McPherson, who's a patron of ours, aren't we?
Yeah, so Shawn was one of our first subscribers to the channel and one of our first patrons. And we didn't get to see him last year because of everything that was going on with Dexter. He's won a boat in a raffle. So he's come over from the US. He's on a mammoth task to try and get it to a marina. And we said we'd try and get down and help or hinder possibly today.
But unfortunately, he's sort of broke down, hasn't he? His boat's still working, but the reverse...
Yeah, it won't go in reverse.
Which isn't very helpful on the canal. So we're going to go down and see him, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, see you in a bit.
It's a 10-minute walk to the van from the Narrowboat, and we've got a 100-mile journey down to the top of the Watford Flight to meet Shawn.
Right, we're getting him in.
Well, get your seatbelts on.
You in, lad? Yeah. Abiding by the law, and it's safe for your pet, isn't it?
Get your seatbelt on.
After a quick stop for coffee and to let Sebastian stretch his legs, we finally meet Shawn at the top of the Watford Flight.
Well, we made it. We're at the top of the Watford Flight. Look at this, it's a beautiful day. We've done this flight ourselves and we're about 12 miles from where Shawn wants to moor his boat. But he's had to stop at the top of the flight because he's worried about taking the boat any further because the reverse isn't working. We think he should be okay. The fact that, I mean, you've got Crick Tunnel ahead, but yeah, I'm sure we can make it the rest of the 12 miles. But this is his boat, Sloe Patrol. If you watch the channel, the boat that James built, this boat cost £20 because he basically bought the raffle tickets. That's what he spent, £20, and he's won a boat. How amazing is that? He's flown over from Kentucky to take the boat up to his final mooring.
Sloe Patrol is a 42-foot Springer, probably built around the late 60s or early 70s, with a 1969 two-cylinder air-cooled Lister engine, with a matching SL4 gearbox.
Well, everybody, this is Shawn, who's been a long-time viewer and patron of our channel for about 5 years, which is just incredible. And we feel like we know you. It's just amazing to meet you. And you have to look round as well, aren't you, Sebastian? Can you tell us how you came about this boat?
Sure. Okay. Well, I've been watching James build it, the Narrowboat that James built, since really early on in his process. And he was going to build a new boat so he'd have more room for him and the kids. So he was raffling this one off to help kind of pay forward for the other boat. He and I had been talking at various points about some of the electrical infrastructure. And at one point he said, hey, if you want to swing by and take a look, that'd be great. I explained I'm from Kentucky. It's kind of hard to swing by 4,000 miles and take a look. So that kind of brought up Kentucky into play. I think it was the week after that he announced the video. And during the video he said, I know I've got viewers from all over the world, so somebody crazy from somewhere like Kentucky could win it. And then I decided I'd been called out, so I'd better buy a ticket. And then a couple months later, he did the drawing, and sure enough, there it was. So,
wow, how does it feel to own your own narrowboat after all this time?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's not the expected path we were going to take to having a narrowboat. And this is, the intent for Sloe for the next couple of years will probably be to use it as a base while we get one built.
Okay.
We were planning on doing that. So we'll see about getting that done. And then we'll just move Sloe on to somebody else who needs it. I mean, that's really the nice thing about coming into the way we did. It's not an investment for us. It's not a savings vehicle for us. We can do the right thing for somebody with it after we get done using it as a base.
And can you tell us about the journey that you just had to make?
Sure, yeah. So started down at Bulburn, so just north of Berkhamsted, and right now we're sitting at the top of the Watford Flight. So we've gone through all of the broad section of the Grand Union up to Norton Junction, through Norton Junction, and then up through the Watford Flight. So all of the locks are behind me now. I've got 12 miles of flat water from here to North Kilworth Wharf, where Sloe is going to come back out of the water on the hard standing. That's where James had the base plate put on a few years ago. So we're going to go back there and go through all the sides of the hull and probably some engine and gearbox work.
Excellent.
I did the mattresses on the other boats.
Internally, Sloe Patrol has a gas oven and grill with a 3-burner hob, a compact bathroom with a shower and instant hot water, and a double bed that can be extended to a king-size bed.
Yeah, for me it's maybe one. I think where my next nearest actual service is. Yeah,
The boat has 770 watts of solar on top with 4 lead-acid leisure batteries. Everything's 12 volt with no inverter. And the fire is a solid fuel Hamlet compact solution stove.
We're at the top of the Watford locks and we're going to try and venture this way towards Crick Tunnel, I think. We may even go through Crick Tunnel. The concern is Shawn's not got reverse. However, because we're here, we can act as crew, we can look ahead, we can sort of help if anything happens. So yeah, because he needs to get moving really, because he goes back to the States next week, I think.
Yeah, needs to get to North Kilworth, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that, Billy? What's that?
So there's your conversation color. Air cold Lister.
So, actually, there's a point. It's another experience of diesel engine. Come here. Come.
With our narrowboat being electric, it's the first time that Sebastian has experienced the noise of a Lister engine, and he doesn't seem fazed by it. Shawn was very meticulous getting the boat ready to set off, and we could learn a thing or two from him. It's like he's been boating for years. I'm going to walk ahead to the bridges so I can signal to Shawn and Anthony to let them know there's nothing coming.
Literally the only narrow bit I've been on is coming through Watford.
So I don't remember much about it. It's only like 75, 80 gallons water.
Well, Shawn and Anthony and Sebastian are behind me on Sloe Patrol. I'm walking to the bridges to make sure there's nothing coming, because if something comes, Shawn can't reverse. So I'm just walking ahead, making sure the coast is clear.
So we're just approaching Crick Tunnel. I've had a look. The noise you can hear behind is the boat that's just gone through, so it's all clear. Can't see any lights ahead. This is Crick Tunnel. It's very leaky. I think I'll run over the top.
Well, this is Sebastian's very first tunnel. He's very relaxed about it all.
Crick Tunnel is 1,397 metres long, or roughly 1,528 yards.
what a rookie error. So Shawn and Paul have gone through Crick Tunnel. I said, oh, I'll walk over the top of it. You can't walk over the top of it. So it's about a 30-minute walk from where I got off the boat to Crick Garden Centre, which I think is the nearest place I can join them. I can't tell them because there's no signal in the tunnel either, but yeah.
How was your cruise through Crick Tunnel? How did you find that journey?
A lot drier than I expected,
Oh.
especially given the rain the other day. I was expecting Crick to be a little more like Blisworth, but it was fine. I don't think we found either side of the wall, so that was good. No oncoming traffic, so we were following one boat at the other end, so that also kind of helped. And the one that was coming up behind didn't overtake us. So given that we're kind of just working our way along slowly and steadily, I'll take it.
Yeah, and the only thing we lost was Anthony, really. Wasn't it?
Because I said I won't get on the boat and I'll walk over the tunnel because I anticipated having to check there was nothing coming at the other end. There was no way over the tunnel. I had to walk all the way around through Crick. It took me 25 minutes, which was fine. Big thank you to Mick, who picked me up and brought me a little bit here and then actually took me back for the van. So Mick is the caretaker at Crick Wharf Marina, so a real big thank you to Mick.
Yeah, cheers, Mick. And we went to the wheat shift for something to eat, didn't we? They were very nice.
Yeah, staff were lovely. So yeah, highly recommend that.
Yeah, it's been a nice day, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been lovely.
Nice ride out.
Yeah.
And who's driving back
You sound
home?
like George Formby.
Who's driving back home?
Turned out nice again. You're driving back home, so I drove here.
Okay. And Sebastian, you were brilliant, weren't you? Never seen a dog looking so relaxed in the tunnel. Just fell asleep. Well, there you go. That's camera shot.
Well, after a very late lunch, it was time to drive the 100 miles back to our narrowboat. And it was a beautiful starry evening. I would have been missing all these sunrises if it wasn't for Sebastian getting me up in the morning. We hope you enjoyed seeing Shawn's boat, and congratulations, Shawn, winning a narrowboat for £20 in a raffle. That's amazing. We didn't intend to film. The whole point to go down was just to visit Shawn because he's been one of our longest patrons, nearly 5 years now. And yeah, we didn't get to see him last year, but we had a brilliant day. The weather was beautiful. It was so good to be back at Crick, and we'll be there for the boat show at the end of May. So we hope you enjoyed seeing on Shawn's boat. We hadn't intended to film at all, just went down to see him. So we're back on a boat and it's beautiful weather again. We've had some really lovely sunsets and sunrises, and on the drawing board I've just finished this beautiful dog called Lily. She's going to be 14 this weekend, so happy birthday, Lily. One of her parents has asked me to draw this as a surprise for a wife, and yeah, she said it's okay for me to show you. So this is Lily and she's 14. Again, mostly drawn in pastel pencils, Faber-Castell and pan pastels for the background, and this is Lily. Blooming heck, how brown do I look?
Not been anywhere, only cruising on the boat, but wanted to share these. We were sent these from Hannah at Caldwell's, who did the windows for our narrowboat. You probably know Caldwell's, but I didn't know they did this. Hannah's had these made for us from glass, and look at that. Oh, that's Sebastian, beautiful, but look at this as well. One of our favourite pictures of Dexter on a Peak Forest canal. Thank you so much, Hannah, and all the team at Caldwell's. They're really amazing, thank you.
A few days later and the three of us are back in the van. We're off for a weekend away for Anthony's birthday.
And we're off. Little jolly to the Lake District for Anthony's birthday.
A couple of hours later and we arrive in the Lake District. We're staying near Grisdale in this one-bedroomed cottage. It's probably one of the nicest cottages we've stayed in the Lake District, and Sebastian absolutely loved the large garden. And the peace was exactly what we needed. There's a solid fuel fire, plenty of seating, and look at the views through the windows. The owners had taken real pride in this cottage. It was very tastefully decorated and it had everything that a guest could possibly need. The area we're staying in is actually Satterthwaite, not far from Grisdale. As you can see, it's a beautiful cottage with a really large kitchen and a modern bathroom with an amazing electric shower. There's even a washing machine, a dryer, and they've left us logs for the fire. But to be honest, with those views and the peace and quiet, we could have cried. It's exactly what we needed. And this is Sebastian's first holiday in the Lake District. We used to come here all the time with Dexter. And we're hoping to create some happy memories with our new little dog. In fact, this cottage is so nice, we're quite surprised it's dog friendly. We settled down with a glass of wine or two, the fire lit and the record player going. And the next day, Anthony's birthday, Sebastian got to explore the garden a little more and we planned to drive over to Grasmere and then on to Ambleside. I think Sebastian now thinks he's a sheep. We even spotted the local barn owl. We took a long drive over to Grasmere, it's one of our favourite villages, and then we went over to Ambleside, but just look how the weather changed. Sebastian wasn't impressed and we headed back home to the cottage. The next day was looking more promising and we drove over to Windermere. We thought it might be quite nice to get on a boat.
Hey mate, what are you waiting for? Lunchtime?
Really?
Licking your lips? Is it our lunchtime?
Yeah.
We just made it in time and chose the Red Cruise. This is about a 35-minute trip over to Ambleside. It's a return journey and the tickets are just £18.40 for an adult. It was very windy but beautiful with the sunshine. You can stay on the boat for the return journey or you can get off here at Ambleside. There's a few cafes around, it's about a mile to the town centre of Ambleside, but we decided just to have a little relax for half an hour or so. And this is the newest boat in the fleet that we took back on our return journey. After yesterday's washout, we were so thankful for the sunshine and the blue skies. We had a little drink on the boat and we really enjoyed our time around Windermere and Ambleside. We finished our day out with fish and chips. It's our last day and it's an early morning checkout from the cottage, but rather than drive home we thought we'd make the most of our last day and we drove over for breakfast at Hawkshead. And being this close to Hilltop, the former home of Beatrix Potter, I couldn't resist a visit. I'm always inspired when I go and see this beautiful cottage. Unfortunately you're not allowed to video, but it was still amazing to see this beautiful artwork by such a talented artist. And this is a doll's house that's sort of the centrepiece of the museum. And then Sebastian had a little paddle over at Tarn House. We had an amazing time and we really did make some happy memories and can't wait to go back. Our time's up here near Coalpit Lane and just look at the weather, it's beautiful. We cruised our narrowboat Morning Star over to Aqueduct Marina to fill with fuel and water, and then we moored just outside near the benches. And unfortunately that's holiday over for Anthony. He's back in work for a few days. He really didn't want to go back. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Keep your comments coming and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.